Welcome to the Talking Diaries podcast featuring Dr. Louis Koster with John Kramer.
I thought it was kind of interesting. The next day you were writing in your diary and you said, any experience of myself, however compelling and delightful, is very selfish and makes me dumb.
Oh, yeah.
Having an experience of myself is the original sin. And
Totally.
yet many of us would say, oh no, if it's compelling, that makes me intelligent, but it really doesn't because it's still compelling you.
Oh, it's so profound what you just said. Since it's so interesting, having an experience of myself is the ultimate illusion. It is the ultimate setup for the mind to thrive. The truth is, I cannot have an experience of myself. I am myself. And any experience of myself, there is an object of experience involved. I'm experiencing myself. That is intrinsically or is is a fallacy. It is an untruth. And so, and that is the operating mechanism of the mind, of consciousness, is that, and ultimately of language, is that it gives me an experience of myself which is created by the duality that language creates. And so having an experience of myself, although delightful and amazing, and is the ultimate inauthenticity and in relationship to myself, because that is not me. It is a great feeling. It is wonderful, like it is wonderful to be appreciated or for people to say, oh, Louis, you're amazing. Oh, you're talking diaries. Oh, man, that's fantastic. How did you come up with it? Oh, or whatever it is. So now, but that's not me. To take that in as, oh, that is so wonderful, or to crave that is how I would fundamentally sabotage myself in relationship to myself. No, I'm not making it wrong or anything like it. I am inviting who's listening here to see it for what it is. That is where you find the well, the truth of what's going on. But that is where you find salvation. Is to see things for what they are. To just see it for what it is. And the truth is, he may have never thought about it. Is that it is there is an inauthenticity in having an experience of yourself and call that or relate to that as that is yourself. That is not true. And that is part, and that is then the other part of it, that this is part of the dynamic of the mind, is that it calls up a thought or what I call something is arising in my consciousness that creates an experience. And the moment I identify myself with that experience, I am hooked into it. I then take it for reality. What has me take what I experience through consciousness, my consciousness, for reality? So, what arises in my consciousness has me take that for reality is the moment that I identify myself with it. Like literally when I identify myself with it. That is how the mind keeps me hooked in its dynamic. But I'm not what I experience. I mean, how can I ever be what is only momentary? You got to correct my English here, or help me.
Momentary.
Momentary. I love the word. I'm going to practice that. How can I ever be that which is
Momentary.
momentary? Just think about it. That's insane. Experience comes and goes. It's only there for what? For 1 or 2 seconds or like milliseconds or whatever it is. So it is momentary. And so how can I be that which is momentary? I mean, it is absurd. And it creates the illusion of a self. That is not my true self. And that illusion is based or is located inside of duality, which is the magic of language. It creates a duality of experience that then gives a sense of self that is not your true self. And we get hooked into that, and then we say, well, that is me. And that then becomes what we then engage with in our consciousness and starts to occupy our consciousness. So in being, there is no experience of ourselves. Have you ever noticed that? When you're just there, you're just there. There's not an experience of yourself. There is no self to experience in being. You just are. And so, well, am I saying don't enjoy the experience that you have of yourself? No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying to see it for what it is. The moment that I do that, I can let go of it, and then it disappears. And that is its natural, well, that is its nature, that it disappears. But if I hang on to it because I've never examined that, by the assumption that that's who or what I am, then I need to defend it with all of its implications.
The moment you try defending anything, you're off on the wrong path.
Yeah, but then that is what has your attention. And the thing is, and that is what the mind does, that is the work of a magician. Like, look at my hand, look at my hand. While in fact, the real action is happening somewhere else. So the mind tricks you in capturing your attention. Like, oh, look here, this is you. Have an experience of yourself. You're so amazing. You're so beautiful. Well, what's actually happening is that you are no longer yourself. That is the cost. And the cost is enormous. Financially, in your business, in your relationships, in applying yourself, in learning something new, in your creativity, in everything. Because all of that, the source of all of that is found in just being yourself. That's where you are open, available, you get ideas that are creative, you take the right actions.
Thank you for listening to the Talking Diaries podcast featuring Dr. Louis Koster. For more information, check out louiskoster.com/talking diaries and subscribe to the Talking Diaries YouTube channel. Also, check out louiskoster.com/quiz and take the free quiz to discover more about yourself.